What's up, everyone? It's Timona from SheLovesThee podcast. I'm here with a public service announcement. It is official. SheLovesThee podcast will be sponsored by iWeave Hair for the upcoming 2023 football season. That's right. I will be promoting and representing the #1 source for all your premium quality hair extensions. I'm super excited to be a part of this company that not only has women looking beautiful, but invest in HBCUs. Stay tuned for upcoming deets. And of course, I had to end with I weave, do you? Hi, everybody. Let me know if you can hear me. I have to talk kind of low right now. Let me know if you can hear me. If you can hear me. I wanted to, it's the calm before the storm, and I wanted to quickly go live to talk about this depth chart for today. I do see some changes that are on the roster for Jackson State, and I just wanted to quickly talk about them a little bit. So let me know if you guys can hear me. Go ahead and like the stream. Okay, great. So game day, we're less than 2 hours away from the Orange Blossom Classic kickoff, Jackson State versus FAMU. I have some interesting things to just put a little bug in your ear about a couple of different things, and that I wanted to talk about. And then it's game time. There's no more talking, no more back and forth. We are absolutely here. So the first thing that I wanted to bring up right before I show you, I'm just going to show you this right before we talk about this depth chart. Y'all let me know if I'm just thinking into things too much or what. So this post is the AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes and then AD Ashley Robinson. They posted that this morning. Ashley Robinson has some eyes look like a little, you know. And then AD Tiffany Dawn Sykes retweeted with some eyes. So I put some eyes under there. So do you guys think that FAMU reached an agreement with the Orange Blossom Classic and that it's going to be FAMU and Jackson State again next year? What y'all think? Or am I reading into it too much and that's just not true? So that was about 4 hours ago, AD Ashley, or maybe they're doing it just for game day. But to me, does it mean that FAMU and Jackson State will have a rematch in 2024? That's going to be a question that will be answered at the conclusion of the game on who is going to, because FAMU supposedly exited and wouldn't be returning. So we will see at the end of the game when they announce, will it be FAMU? So let's get into this depth chart. So mentionables, we do have Seven McGee on Jackson State's offense to start as wide receiver. And so we have, I'm just going to go ahead and read you the depth chart. So Rico Powers and Seven McGee are starting wide receivers. At left tackle, we have DeAndre Towns Blue. There was a lot of talk about Cameron James last week for the South Carolina State game. He was going up against Jablonski Green and Patrick Godbolt, who are both all MEAC conference players for the preseason. They're also, especially for Jablonski Green, he is on some NFL draft watch list, but he struggled. Cameron James struggled. So, with that being said, they did move the offensive line around a little bit. So DeAndre Towns Blue will be at left tackle. Kirk Ford at left guard. Evan Henry once again will be at center. We have Sir Riley at right guard, and then Deontay Graham at right tackle. Of course, the two tight ends we have are DJ Stevens and Jency Riley. Another wide receiver that we have is Duke Miller and Kobe Paul. Of course, they have activated Jason Brown as QB1 and Zy McDonald as QB2. It's interesting to see who the running back will be, because on this particular draft part, it has JD Martin still listed as the running back, starting running back. But unfortunately, JD Martin, he suffered an injury that's going to have him out for a couple of weeks. So it'll be interesting to see who will replace, whether or not Irv Mulligan will become RB1 and they'll bring in Ezekiel Johnson. We have a couple of running backs on the team, so it'll be interesting to see who they put in for that spot, because JD Martin is injured at this point. And Ed says that that's the original starting lineup. Riley was hurt and now he's better. So off the edge, interesting that we have Athen Smith and Antonio Doyle coming up off the edge. And then Jeremiah Williams and Devontae Davis starting. I think we all know the middle linebackers, Isaac Peppers, and then Javarian Jenkins. And then, of course, we still have the same lineup for the corners and safeties, which, of course, is the 5, 6, 7, 8 crew. It says, at least Trick Daddy will make sure the players are fed well while down there in Miami. Try and see if you can get him on the camera, because his food truck should be out there or close by. Oh, wow. I didn't know that. So I went directly to the stadium. I didn't stop out at the tailgate. Last week last week I went to the tailgate in Atlanta. Oh my gosh, it was so hot. So I kind of bypassed the tailgate for this particular session. Um, Seven McGee will be playing on special teams too, return specialist on kick return and punt return. Um, Once again, on Florida A&M's defense, a couple of people that they picked out was, of course, Gentle Hunt, Isaiah Major, Kendall Bowler, Javon Morgan. These are all players who are players to watch during the game. Jalen Goss on the left tackle. All of these players were, of all of the SWAC, they were chosen to be first team and second team all SWAC. So if these particular players, including Jeremy Musa, are chosen to be first team, that means that they're going to be putting on a show today. Definitely going to be putting on a show today. Comment below in the chat what you think this game will be. Do you think it's going to be a blowout one way or the other? Do you feel like FAMU's defense is going to be a problem for Jackson State's offense, and the other way around? He says he does it every year during the Orange Blossom Classic. He got his own YouTube. Ooh. Okay, so the only thing that I will say for these high numbers is if I feel like the defense is at the same level or better than last year's defense, how would I be able to give FAMU more than 2 touchdowns? It's a big question, a big question mark. Very big question mark on whether or not I would be able to give FAMU more than 2 touchdowns. And that's because of Jackson State's defense. That doesn't have implications for how well FAMU will do against the rest of the SWAC. As we know, FAMU put up points against UNC. And then when they got to Jackson State, they were only held to a field goal. And then once they stopped, or excuse me, not stopped, but progressed throughout the season, they were able to score more points. I feel like Jackson State's defense will be dominant. And because they're going to be so dominant, the amount of touchdowns that FAMU will be able to score is going to be minimized greatly. I wanted to actually shout out Christopher Dukes for the donation last night. I saw it after I got off. So thank you for the donation to the channel. CJ Jones says, if the Tiger establishes the run early, FAMU going to be beaten badly. The offense was actually held back last week. And I was on OG Strike Zone for about 15 minutes, about 30 minutes ago, and he asked me the question, do you think Jackson State, having already one game under their belt, is going to be an advantage or disadvantage? And what are the pros and cons to that? So for me, Jackson State's game against South Carolina State, if anything, if I'm a defensive coordinator, I have more questions than answers. The reason why I say that is because Coach Maurice Harris switched things up so well that you really didn't know what was going on. So if you're going to follow what they did last week, that might not be what they do this week, which is they started off run heavy to the point where I actually question, is this going to be a run heavy offense? And then they switched it up. They started using their tight ends. Now, I did talk a lot about the tight end room and Coach Maurice Harris in his previous coaching jobs where he coached tight ends and he utilized tight ends a lot. So, do I think that DJ Stevens and Jency Riley will have another big day? I do. Um, All Black says Zy McDonald will be the X factor. And I think that with Jackson State, with their coaching, they're not going to necessarily just have Jason Brown playing for all 4 quarters. So if it's up a certain amount by the third quarter, I do think that both the offensive coordinators and the defensive coordinators will switch it up a lot. We did see the defense playing a lot of 3-3, um, 3-3-5, and 3-2-6 towards the end of the game. And Ken Clark pointed out that the game was not within reach running. So that's why they put so many corners and safeties on the field, because at that point, the only way that you can win is by throwing. Roger Jones says Antonio Doyle will have a big game. Yes, so the edge rushers that they have on here is Antonio Doyle, Philip Webb, Athen Smith, and Julius Reynolds. At tackle, of course, they have Jeremiah Williams and Tyus Martin, Devontae Davis, and True Thompson. Good Lord. I mean, my goodness. You can complimentary switch them out and have no drop off. I think that depth is going to be very important, just because the strength and conditioning and the depth, you're going to see it come out in this game. It's 90 degrees outside. They are starting at 3 o'clock. Hopefully, everybody is hydrated. This is a really big game. So, the Orange Blossom Classic will be on ESPN. So, if you are, I know that they said they were having some issues with Spectrum and Disney, but I think that they got that resolved. So you should be able to view the game on ESPN. Jawan Ford says, who are your key players to watch on offense and defense? Okay, so on offense, I'm very excited to see Seven McGee, because he's the highly touted 4-star recruit from Oregon. I'm very excited to see it. With Jason Brown, he everybody gets an equal opportunity. Everybody is going to get a chance to get the ball. We do see Fabian McCray, so it's interesting to see how Fabian plays. Andre Hunt is the fastest player on the team. He has the speed. At this point, on offense, I'm going to be excited to see, of course, Seven McGee. And interesting to see how if Irv Mulligan can repeat his game that he had last week. Let me see. And once again, y'all keep commenting if you have not already done so, your score that you feel will be towards the end of the game. On FAMU's side, these are the players that we'll be watching and the matchups that we will watch. So I'm thinking that Marcus Riley will probably be covered by Isaias Guthrie, or that's one of their wide receivers. They have Jamari Sherrard as well. Jamari Sherrard, Nick Dixon, David Manigo, Marcus Riley, Darian Oxidine. So these are the players to watch. So Marcus Riley, definitely have to keep an eye on him. I do know that FAMU is probably going to be running the ball this time. Probably going to be running the ball a lot more. They were last in rushing last year. So it'll be no surprise if we see Jaquez Yant, Kelvin Dean, and Terrell Jennings with some carries. So the key to that, of course, is Devontae Davis, Jeremiah Williams, Tyus Martin, True Thompson, being able to stop that, the running, but also we're going to see our linebackers being able to pick up the drop off. So you have to stop the run. Last week we did see some holes opening. At that point in time, it was a 3-3-5 and a 3-2-6 type of deal. So then South Carolina State started driving with the run game. This week, I expect for Alan Wacker and Isaac Peppers to pick that up. Okay, I got 28 FAMU 28-14. I was hoping for a welcome to Miami from the JSU football page. I also wanted to give a shout out to Miss Tabitha from Miami. She did give me some tickets for the FAMU game. So my son and his friend and my aunt are gonna, and my friend are able to come to the game tonight or in a couple of hours. So it'll be interesting for them to see the band and the football game. Okay. Thank you, Prime Time. So I'm getting ready to get off here, probably in the next 3 minutes. I just wanted to give you guys those updates for the depth chart, and I wanted you guys to be aware that at this point, it's just a matter of X's and O's and the coaching. It looks like both teams have a lot of talent on both sides of the ball, on offense and defense. So the determination now is who's going to coach better, which teams are not going to make mistakes. If a team makes a mistake, is the other team going to capitalize on the mistake? Thank you guys all for tuning in to She Loves Thee. We will be having a post-game show. When we win, I'm just going to say when we win, we will be having a post-game show. Doc Holiday and She Loves Thee. Make sure that you tune in, and it says check Instagram pics of the uniform. Okay, Miss Gina, I'm going to go ahead and pull that up for you guys so you guys can take a look at the new uniforms. It looks like they dropped some new uniforms. So let me pull that up for you guys real quick. Let's see if they posted it on here. Let me see. Instagram. Like they've posted their new uniforms. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. Okay. Oh, these are really nice. Let's take a look at those. Before I get off, I'm going to show you guys the uniforms that they have. Thank you, Miss Gina. This looks like a gray color. It's nice to see Under Armour with the continuation, of course, of the investment and the time that they take out with Jackson State University. Of course, we have that block. This is the old school block. They bought it back. So basically acknowledging history. I got the red gloves. Looks good. What do you guys think about the uniforms? just as the block. So that's what they'll be wearing today for game day. Um, really nice uniform with the historical. Um, it's almost like a reference to W.C. Gordon. Kind of acknowledging that historical uniform. Mr. Shackleford says, I don't know how I feel about the pants, but the helmet and with the old school jersey. I like the helmet. Yeah, the helmet definitely is a acknowledgement to the historical Jackson State, the block. It's back. And then you can see that they have the blue shoes, cleats. So definitely a great addition to the vast number of uniforms that Jackson State has. Well, you guys, I am going to get off of here. And I'll make sure that all of my equipment, like my camera, is charged so that I can go live from the field. I can't go to the field prior to the game for this particular game, but I do have access to go to the field about 6 minutes prior to the end of the fourth quarter, and then I'll go live from the field. So make sure that you hit your um, like and subscribe and turn your notifications on. It'll send your notification when I go live. So can't wait to see you guys there. We got a great game going on, so I'm ready for the matchup. I'm ready for the win. I will be getting great content, and thank you all for tuning in. See y'all later.